Do you think life is generally pretty easy? Are people more or less nice to you? Do you get a lot of free stuff a lot of the time? Then I've got news for you. You're probably hot.
What a great video. Stitches were off, but I'll link to her in the comments. Watch the whole thing. Pretty privilege is a thing that seems to be getting talked about more. But how can we know if it's real? How can we measure it? How can we know the nuances of it? I'll walk you through some of the evidence of pretty privilege in the areas of criminal justice, in social situations, and in politics. The research in criminal justice is nuanced, but here's a classic study from 1991 breaking down attractiveness into 5 levels, finding that bail and fine amounts were much higher for people judged as low on attractiveness, and then as you gradually move toward high attractiveness, the bail fines reduce considerably. This has been replicated in other research, see above. It does seem to disappear as the crime gets more serious, and it doesn't appear to affect guilty, non-guilty judgments as much as things that can be modified within a range, like bail amount or sentencing. Here's a study on sentencing by juries. Here, unattractive criminals were sentenced significantly longer than attractive criminals for the same crime. Here's a study looking at the relationship between attractiveness and trustworthiness. Notice there seems to be a relationship there. The more attractive a person is, also, the more likely they are to be judged as trustworthy. Also notice there seems to be an interactive effect here with gender. Oftentimes, forms of privilege will overlap or intersect, this intersectionality, and in this case it appears that women benefit from the social benefits of being beautiful, being judged beautiful, and also they suffer more from the social judgments of being judged as less beautiful. Note that there's something of an effect for men as well, but it's not nearly as strong. Society is much more accepting of men no matter what they look like. How about in politics? The first televised debate was in 1960 between Kennedy and Nixon. Nixon was recovering from a cold. He was on antibiotics. He refused makeup. Kennedy reportedly worked on his tan and took a nap before the debate. People listening on the radio thought that Nixon won. People who watched the first debate on TV reported that Kennedy won. How important was attractiveness? In experimental settings, people consistently choose the more attractive candidate. In this study, about 2/3 of the time. How might have this affected the 2016 election? Remember again, beautiful women benefit the most from this effect, and unattractive women are punished the most. How about in 2020? Here were 4 potential running mates for Biden. Who did he choose? And who did Harris run against?